Welcome, everybody. The NFL season is over, which means it's time for the NFL offseason. I'm Joe at the Game House, and today we're going to be doing a Los Angeles Rams 2024 NFL mock draft. The Rams are on the clock in our 2024 NFL mock draft series. Now, as a reminder, we'll be going through every team probably twice before the NFL draft, doing mock drafts for these teams and trying to find the best fits for them as we go along. We'll be using the NFL mock draft database simulator. I like it because it meshes all the big boards from around the internet together for their big board, but things will still happen that maybe don't always happen in the NFL draft, so be on the lookout for that. We'll also be declining all trades as we go along. Just not many realistic trade offers come through on these trade simulators, and it's way too early. So let's get to the Rams. A good season for them after a lot of the roster left from the Super Bowl. They did a really good job last draft using all their picks to fill roster holes. I really like the Steve Avila pick last year. And I think this board will set up well for them to kind of improve as well. Look at all the corners that are there right there. I think they're going to have to go corner out of the gate no matter what. I really like Nate Wiggins out of Clemson. I think he's a guy who's a superior athlete. I think he did have maybe the best corner season out of anyone in college football who was draft eligible this past year. He's going to run a very fast 40 time. I think that'll be appealing as well to match up with some of these speedy receivers. I think that's an excellent pick if he falls to 19. I don't think all three of those corners will end up falling to 19. All right, so we'll move on to pick number 52 for the Rams. It's a very odd situation where they have a lot of picks in multiple years, but they're building up this roster. They could go a lot of different. Again, they're still like the rosters. They did a really good job of building up the roster in last year's draft, but they can go a lot of different positions to help this team. I'll go with the recommendation here that they have. I'll go with Adisa Isaac, edge rusher from Penn State. Now they have Chop Robinson in this draft too, but Adisa Isaac will probably get some looks as well. Help that pass rush. I think that any team in this draft looking for pass rushers, you got to get them early. I'm not sure about the depth of this class, but I think he could definitely help out. Pick number 83, sorry. There's, again, lots of different options here for the Rams. I'm going to go Christian Haynes out of UConn. I think he might get a little bit earlier than this. Help that offensive line, and I think this might just be like a value pick, too, of like, hey, this guy, a lot of people are talking about him pushing towards the first round. Maybe not exactly the first round, but get to the second round maybe. To get the guy like that where you can plug and play right away, pick number 83. And this is going to be tough too because there's some guys I really like on this list still that they could definitely utilize. Let's go with Junior Colson out of Michigan, a guy who was all over the football field the last couple of years, can really help stop the run. I think that'll be huge. As a guy, you're getting a pick 100. You're not necessarily picking these guys at this point to step into the starting lineup, but I think he can develop into a solid linebacker for the Rams. Come up to these next back-to-back picks, 153, 154. And that gives us some options as well. Let's go Jaheim Bell out of Florida State. Now, more of like an H-back can do anything role, but I would love to see what he can do in a Sean McVay offense. That's the reason why we're going with him. And then we'll go Ray Davis out of Kentucky. His ability to run the ball but also catch the ball to the backfield is great. The Rams seemingly want to leave every draft with a running back, so this will help them out as well. And then we'll go Justin Igboigbe out of Alabama, defensive line depth here. Good value as well. Guy's never going to be a star in the NFL, but I think he can fulfill a role pretty well. And we have plenty of options here too. Another linebacker, running back is what they want me to take. I mean, at this point, offensive line depth might be the pick. Let's go Andrew Phillips. He's a guy who's rising up draft boards as well right now. Ability to play in the slot, has very good eyes. I think he could be a guy who outplays his draft position if it is going to end up being somewhere down here. Still wants me to take running backs, linebackers. We're probably going to go with a different position as we go along here. Let's go Drake Nugent out of Michigan. Very good on that offensive line. I know we already took an interior offensive lineman, but you have so many picks here, the later rounds. You're just trying to get some depth. And then we'll go Jordan Whittington out of Texas. A guy who's overlooked because of all the talent they've had at wide receiver position, but I think can maybe fulfill a role for the Rams. And I would have loved to get like an offensive tackle, just none of them have been in the range. So maybe a trade down. We'll go Ethan Driscoll out of Marshall. Have not watched his tape, I'll be honest, but get some offensive line depth there as well, as we've gotten a lot of depth at a lot of different positions here. I do like this draft for the Rams. I do think it's going to be something where it's not like set in stone. They're going to have to go to this position. I mean, corner's probably a big need, but they have needs all over the roster. But I'm so impressed with what Sean McVay has done with that roster this year with a bunch of young players making an impact. Let's go over the draft real quickly. We have Nate Wiggins out of Clemson. If he falls to 19, I'd be running to the podium. Very athletic corner and had, as I mentioned, the best year of any draft-eligible cornerback last year, I think. Adisa Isaac, the edge rusher out of Penn State, should test well at the combine. Christian Haynes, maybe not the biggest need on the interior offensive line, although Allen was just cut. But I think he's going to step in and start right away. This is a value pick, as some people have him going even as high as the top 50 pick. Junior Colson, a good run defender at linebacker. Jaheim Bell, more of a do-everything type of tight end, H-back type role, but maybe can fulfill a role for him. Ray Davis, the running back. They love taking running backs in the draft. Justin Igboigbe, defensive lineman out of Alabama, more of a guy who can do his job and maybe turn into a solid pro, but never a star. Andrew Phillips is actually a guy who's moving up draft boards a lot, so I like him, probably more of a slot corner. Drake Nugent, Jordan Weddington, and Ethan Driscoll. Let me know what you think of the draft in the comments below. As a reminder, we'll be doing more mock drafts as we go along here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.